Welcome everyone to this Battle League game that sees Kavil taking on the First Order Toys. First up is Kavil with the lists he should have had last time round, and I messed it up. But we have Kavil and a hired gun, both in Y-wings. They each have a dorsal turret, engine upgrade and unhinged astromech. Then we have the First Order tyres. They are just 4 First Order tyres with no upgrades. Let's roll for asteroids now. And we have 6 on the board. Here is the board after the asteroids have been set up right in the middle. The Y-wings are on that left flank over there. And the TIE fighters have been forced to split up. They're in 2 teams of 2. And so let's see what happens. First Order tyres go first, of course, pilot skill 1. So these 2 are going 5 forwards, and these 2 are going 3 forwards. The guys move forwards and then barrel rolled to the right, and these guys just move forwards and did no actions. May as well do these both at the same time because no one else is going to go. Kavil on the left is going 3 forwards, and the hired gun is going 3 softbank 3 to the right. Moving to there, both Kavil and the hired gun have just boosted straight forwards. The hired gun is going to be shooting at that TIE fighter at range 3. The hired gun gets 2 shots and it's 2 blanks. The TIE fighter is going to be shooting back at range 3. He gets 2 shots as well and he rolls 1 hit. The hired gun gets 2 evade dice and he rolls his 1 evade. At the end of the round, this is where everyone is positioned, and no damage taken. Only 2 people in range tried to shoot each other and missed, so let's get into the next round. The TIE fighter is doing a little bit of tactical surprise here, see how it goes. This TIE fighter is going 2 forwards. This TIE fighter is doing a hard 2 to the right. This TIE fighter is doing a softbank 3 to the left, and this TIE fighter is just going 2 forwards. This guy moved 2 forwards, then barrel rolled to the right. This guy did his hardbank turn to the 2, he did his softbank turn to the 3, and they crashed into each other, so don't get to perform any actions. This guy did his 2-inch forwards, and then did a barrel roll to the right. Kavil is doing a softbank 3 to the right, and the hired gun is just going 2 straight forwards. Kavil moved to there and then focused. The hired gun moved to there and then boosted forwards. Kavil is shooting first outside of his firing arc at this TIE fighter. He gets 4 attack dice and he will expend his focus to turn that into 2 hits. The TIE fighter gets 3 evade dice and he only rolls 1 evade. The number 4 TIE fighter loses his shield and he's now down to just his 3 hull points. The hired gun is shooting at this TIE fighter at range 1. He gets 3 attack dice from the dorsal turret and that is 3 hits. The TIE fighter gets 3 evade dice and he rolls all 3 blanks. The number 3 TIE fighter takes 3 damage, loses his 1 shield and takes 2 hull points. He has 1 hull point remaining. The number 3 TIE fighter is shooting back at the hired gun at range 1. He gets 3 attack dice and he gets 1 hit. The hired gun has 1 evade dice and it is a blank. 1 hit goes through and he's now down to 2 shields. This TIE fighter is shooting at range 2 but through a buddy. He gets 2 attack dice and he rolls 1 critical. The hired gun gets 2 evade dice and he rolls 2 blanks. The hired gun loses 1 more shield and he's just down to 1 shield remaining. This First Order TIE fighter is shooting at Kavil at range 2. He gets 2 attack dice. He rolls a hit and a critical. Kavil gets 1 evade dice and it is a blank. 2 shots go through, and Kavil is also now down to 1 shield. The last TIE fighter is shooting at Kavil at range 1. He has 3 shots, and he rolls 2 hits. Kavil gets 1 evade dice, and it is another blank. Kavil loses his last shield and also takes 1 damage, so he is now down to just his 4 hull points. At the end of the round, this is where everyone is positioned, and that was some pretty nasty shooting there. Kavil managed to wipe off the shield of one of the TIEs. The hired gun managed to basically nearly kill one of the TIE fighters. He's down to 1 hull. And the hired gun lost both his shields. Kavil lost all his shields, all 3 of them, and took 1 damage. So yeah, it's looking quite tasty, this game. So let's see what happens in the next round. First order TIEs using their better manoeuvrability. This guy is going to do a sonar loop, I believe it is, to the left. This one's doing one to the right. He is doing a hard bank 1 to the left. And he is doing a hard bank 3 to the left. This guy moves to here and evades. He moves up to there and he's stressed. He moves down here and he's stressed. And he moves to there and focuses. Kavil is doing a soft bank 2 to the right, and the hired gun is doing a hard bank 2 to the left. Kavil moves to there and focuses for his action, whilst the hired gun moves to there and target locks that TIE fighter. Kavil is shooting at this TIE fighter at range 1. He has 4 attack dice, and he rolls 2 hits. The TIE fighter rolls 3 evade dice, and he will use his focus to get the 2 evades. Hired gun is going to try and shoot at this TIE fighter down here at range 2. He gets 2 shots, and he rolls 1 hit. The TIE fighter gets 3 evade dice, and he rolls his 1 evade. This TIE fighter is shooting at the hired gun at range 2. He gets 2 attack dice, and he rolls a critical hit. The Y-wing gets 1 evade dice, and it is a blank. The hired gun loses his last remaining shield, and so he's down to just his 5 hull points now. This TIE fighter is shooting at Kavil at range 3. Range 1 rather, sorry. It's 3 attack dice. He rolls 1 hit and 1 critical. Kavil gets 1 evade dice, and he will expend his focus token to give him an evade. 1 critical goes through, and it is weapons failure. When attacking, roll 1 fewer attack dice. This TIE fighter is shooting at Kavil at range 1. He gets 3 attack dice. He rolls 1 hit and 1 critical. Kavil gets 1 evade dice, and he rolls his evade. Critical hit goes through, and it is blinded pilot. He cannot perform any attacks and has to flip it down after next round. So that's ruined Kavil, and he's now down to 2 hull points remaining. At the end of the round, that shook a few things up there. Kavil receiving 2 criticals, weapons failure, and also blinded pilot, so he can't shoot next round. He took some damage there. The hired gun also is now down to just his 5 hull points. He's lost his last shield, and I don't think that caused any damage, did that, the Y-wings? So let's see what happens in the next round. This TIE fighter is doing a sonar's loop to the right. He is doing a soft bank 2 to the right. He is also doing a soft bank 2 to the left. And he is doing a hard bank 2 to the left. The pressure is on now. He moves to there and he's stressed. These guys have moved to there respectively, and they have all focused. The hired gun is doing a soft bank 1 to the left. And Kavil is doing a hard bank 3 to the right, which is green because of unhinged astromech. Kavil has moved to there, and he can't attack this round of course, but he has flipped weapon failure down using his action. This guy on the hand moved to there, straight in the firing line, and decided to boost out, so to get him in a better position. The hired gun is going to shoot at this TIE fighter at range 1. He gets 3 attack dice. He rolls a hit and a critical. The TIE fighter gets 3 evade dice. And he rolls 3 blanks, but he can use his focus, and so only 1 critical hit goes through. Number 2 loses his shield, and so he's now down to just his 3 hull points. This TIE fighter is shooting at the hired gun at range 3 and through an obstacle. He gets 2 attack dice, and he rolls 2 blanks. This TIE fighter is shooting at the hired gun, but through 2 friends at range 2. He gets 2 attack dice. He rolls a hit and a focus and can turn that into a hit. The hired gun gets 3 evade dice. And he rolls 1 evade. The hired gun takes 1 damage and is now down to 4 hull points. At the end of the round, this is where everyone is positioned. Kavil is now able to shoot, and damage taken, the TIE fighter near the hired gun lost 1 his shield, and the hired gun also took 1 damage, so he's now down to 4 hull points. So see what happens in the next round, eh? This guy is doing a soft bank 2 to the left. These 2 are doing hard bank 2s to the right. And this guy is just going 2 straight forwards. Lots of nice flying there. He moves to there and focuses. He moved to there and then barrel rolled to the left before he got there. So he moved straight forwards there. And then he just did his hard turn and then focused. He focused as well. Kavil is doing a hard 2 to the left. And the hired gun is doing a hard 2 to the right. Kavil moved his distance and then just boosted to the left. And he pretty much did the same except boosting to the right. Kavil is shooting at this guy at range 2. He gets 3 attack dice. And he rolls 1 hit. The TIE fighter gets 3 evade dice. And he rolls just 1 evade. The hired gun is shooting at this guy at range 1. The hired gun gets 3 attack dice, and he will expend his target lock. Oh. The TIE fighter gets 3 evade dice, and he rolls nothing, but he has a focus, so he gets 1 evade. 1 shot goes through. The number 1 pilot loses his only shield, and so he is down to 3 hull points now. This TIE fighter is shooting back at the hired gun at range 1. He gets 3 attack dice, and that is a hit and 2 criticals. The hired gun gets 1 evade dice, and he rolls 1 evade. The hired gun first takes 1 critical, which is a direct hit, so that's 2 damage, and his next critical is damaged engine. All hard manoeuvres are now red manoeuvres. This TIE fighter is going to be shooting at the hired gun at range 2. He gets 2 attack dice, and he can expend his focus token to turn that into 1 hit. xwing gets 1 evade, and he needs to get this evade, otherwise he will be dead. And he just about manages to get his evade. This TIE fighter is shooting at Kavil at range 2. TIE fighter gets 2 attacks, and he will expend his focus token to turn that into 2 hits. Kavil needs an evade to stay in the game, and he gets it. So Kavil took 1 damage and he's now down to 1 hull point remaining. This TIE fighter is shooting at Kavil at range 3 and through an obstacle. He gets 2 attack dice, and he gets 1 critical hit. Kavil gets 3 evade dice, and he rolls an evade. At the end of the round, Kavil and the hired gun are looking defeated. They both are on 1 hull point, and the TIE fighters are barely touched. So yeah, it's not looking good for them at this stage. This probably will be the last round, but let's see what happens. They might get lucky. This TIE fighter is doing a sonar loop to the right. This TIE fighter is doing a soft bank 2 to the left. This TIE fighter is doing a hard bank 1 to the left. And this TIE fighter is doing a sonar loop to the right. He has moved to there and is stressed. He's moved to there and evades. He's moved to there and focuses. And he has moved to there and is also stressed. The high gun is doing a soft bank 3 to the right. And Kavil is doing a soft bank 2 to the left. Kavil just fit in the gap just there, didn't touch, and was able to boost out. And he has come into there and he's focusing. Kavil is shooting at range 1, this TIE fighter right here. Kavil gets 4 attack dice. And he rolls 2 hits. The TIE fighter gets 3 evade dice. He rolls 1 evade, and he has an evade token as well, so nothing damaged. The high gun is shooting at this guy at range 1. He gets 3 attack dice, and he rolls 2 hits. The TIE fighter gets 3 evade dice, and he rolls 2 evades, and also that's enough. He had got a focus if he needed it, but he didn't. This TIE fighter is shooting at Kavil at range 2 through an obstacle. He gets 2 attack dice. And he rolls nothing. TIE fighter is shooting at the hired gun at range 2. He gets 2 attack dice. And he gets 1 hit. The hired gun gets 1 evade dice. And he rolls his evade. He's just about survived. This TIE fighter is shooting at the hired gun at range 1. He gets 3 attack dice. And he has his focus, so he's able to turn those into 2 hits and a critical. He gets 1 evade dice to xwing, and it is an evade, but it's not enough. So obviously he only had 1 hull point remaining, and that is more than enough to take him out of the game. At the end of the round, it's basically not looking very good for Kavil. He's got 1 hull point remaining, his hired gun is now gone, and everyone else still has plenty health remaining, so it's not looking very good. Let's see what happens in the next round. This TIE fighter is doing a 3 straight forwards. This TIE fighter is doing a hard bank 1 to the left. He is doing a sonar's loop to the left. And he is doing a soft bank 2 to the left. He's moved to here, hasn't done an action. He has gone through here, gone through an asteroid, so needs to test in a second. He has just moved into there and done a focus. And he's gone to there and is stressed. So let's test for the asteroid. Asteroid gives a hit. Number 4 takes the hit, but he has 2 hull points remaining. So yeah, it was a pretty safe bet. Kavil is doing a soft bank 2 to the left. Kavil moved to there and he's boosted out to try and delay the inevitable as much as possible. He's shooting at this TIE fighter at range 1. He gets 4 shots. And he rolls 1 hit. TIE fighter gets 3 evade dice. But he rolls 3 blanks, wow. Kavil had rolled better, he could have took him out, but instead he only did 1 damage and he's down to 2 hull points. This TIE fighter is shooting at Kavil at range 2, he's the only one who can. He gets 2 attack dice. He rolls 1 hit. Kavil gets 1 evade dice. And it is a blank. Kavil only had 1 hull point remaining, so unfortunately he is also removed from play, and the TIE fighters have done it. A well, slaughtering victory. So a flawless victory there by the TIE fighters, easily taking out Kavil, not being touched basically. They were wounded, but not enough significant damage. Kavil and the high gun just not able to take them down. Their shooting wasn't the best, I have to say, but yeah, The shooting from the TIE fighters was really good on form, and it's easy to shoot when you've only got one evade dice to hit against, whereas the TIE fighters have 3 evade dice. So yeah, Kavil and the high gun back to the drawing board, I think. They played well. I think I played the best that I could with Kavil, basically. Just got let down by the dice, and the dice helped out the TIE fighters. So there's nothing you can do in that circumstances. I think it was the TIE fighters' manoeuvrability was superior. Those sonar loops, they are really, really good, really deadly, and they are looking strong at the moment. 2 victories now, they're probably qualified, so it's all to play for in this Battle League. And I'll see you in the next one.